Germany has announced plans to expand temporary border checks across all of its land borders for an initial period of 6 months, starting from September 16. The government also put forth new proposals to enhance the enforcement of EU asylum regulations, including measures to detain asylum seekers at the border while officials assess whether they have already been registered in another EU country, such as Italy or Greece. The measures aim to reduce the number of asylum seekers entering Germany and curb irregular migration. These controls will be implemented within the European Schengen zone, a free movement area involving 29 countries and around 420 million people, allowing for travel without border checks. However, the increased checks could challenge the unity of the EU, as migrants would be sent back to the first EU country they entered, often poorer nations like Italy, Greece, or Bulgaria. We are not expecting an end to Schengen in general but foresee a less functional free movement space, said Markus Engler from the German Center for Integration and Migration Research, highlighting potential long-term impacts. German police will ramp up random checks on vehicles and trains crossing the borders, and anyone entering the country irregularly may be refused entry or detained if they seek asylum. These controls may lead to traffic delays, as well as concerns about racial profiling. Germany will need to negotiate these border control plans with the country's 16 regional governments, as they would be responsible for enforcement. Cooperation with European partners is also critical, particularly when it comes to returning asylum seekers to the EU countries where they first registered. However, Germany has already notified the European Commission about the measures, allowing Berlin to proceed immediately with the border controls. The EU witnessed over 1.14 million asylum applications in 2023, the highest figure since 2016. Despite this increase, recent months have seen a decline in application numbers, with May seeing a one-third reduction compared to the peak levels of autumn 2023. Germany has consistently led the bloc in asylum requests, accounting for 22% of all. The timing of these moves is seen as politically driven, with upcoming state and federal elections. Chancellor Olaf Scholz's Social Democrats, SPD, face challenges from the far-right and conservative opposition, both of which have been gaining ground. Migration is currently the top concern for voters in Brandenburg, a state with elections scheduled for September 22. Earlier elections in Thuringia and Saxony saw the far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD, party come out on top, marking the first time a far-right party won a state election in Germany. A recent knife attack in Solingen by a Syrian asylum seeker, who had been rejected and was suspected of having ties to the so-called Islamic State, intensified debates over immigration. The incident, where 3 people were killed, further fueled calls to tighten migration controls and increase deportations. As part of its response, the German government also plans to expedite deportations of rejected asylum seekers involved in criminal activities and reduce social benefits for migrants. The influx of refugees from Ukraine also had a significant impact on Germany's immigration figures. Approximately 1,098,000 Ukrainians sought refuge in Germany following Russia's invasion in February 2022, representing 41% of all immigrants that year. Temporary protection for Ukrainians is expected to end in March 2025. Germany's decision to reintroduce broad border checks has received mixed reactions from other EU countries. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán praised the move on social media, writing, "Schulz, welcome to the club. #StopMigration." Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, however, criticized the decision, arguing that irregular migration cannot be solved by unilaterally abolishing the Schengen area. He also dismissed claims that Greece employs illegal pushbacks against migrants coming through Turkey. The Greek Coast Guard has rescued thousands of people, and it is insulting to spread conspiracy theories, the Greek Prime Minister said. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk emphasized the need for better cooperation from Germany and other EU nations to strengthen the EU's external borders rather than imposing stricter controls within Europe. Tusk also called for urgent discussions with neighboring countries to ensure coordinated migration policies. Czech Interior Minister Vít Rakusan stated that he does not expect significant changes, as checks would remain random, and detention centers in both Poland and the Czech Republic are already in place for undocumented migrants awaiting asylum decisions.